We are the answer, us collectively. Um, yeah. So
What is it? The only way out is through. Is what I
that's
want to say.
there you go. There you go.
I want to welcome 68J to the stage. Um, 68J's, you still drinking that coffee?
Nice.
Oh,
Uh,
y'all caught me. Y'all caught me getting my fix. My bad.
how many minutes do we have you for? Because we're going around the room, and I don't want to cut in front of Lady K and Optimistic Prime, unless you have
Oh,
literally like.
I want to hear. I got to hear about XRP Unleashed. Let's do
Well,
it.
All right, then
first of
we're
all, I've got about 25 minutes. I'm taking my wife on another date night at 7
Nice.
p.m. But yeah, and shouts out to Lady K. It's good to see you, my friend.
good to see
Always been a
you.
part of family. Always, it's definitely good to see you again. And Optimistic Prime, Melissa, and the two gentlemen, Stone and Toasty. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much.
Nita's here too.
So Lady K says basically what we've been talking about, Jay, is the importance of building community, which also we wanted to touch because so we've been talking about meme coins for the last couple of minutes in the culture that was brought in by this new bot on the XRP ledger and the frenzy that it's kind of caused. And you know, we are ambassadors for the Shikaka coin.
Absolutely.
And I never actually got involved with any kind of memes at all until you asked me to be part of the Shikaka coin.
That's right.
And I must say, it's helping me learn about tokenomics and what to look for when you're investing. So I've learned that there's much more to memes than just a picture.
Absolutely.
If you delve further into them, and the fact that not all memes are created equal, and some of
That's right.
them can come on to go on to do something better than what you thought, like Doge, for example.
That's
Who
right.
knows what that's going to end up being? So anyway, if you would please, you had an experience last night or the night before. You got to see the XRP Unleashed film.
I did, but I want to go back to what you were talking about as far as Shikaka. If you don't mind, I'll say a couple things
Yeah,
about
not at
that.
all.
And that is that number one is I respect everyone who has memes. I think memes. There's different types of memes. I think for me, what we're doing with this project is an extension of who I am. It's an extension of what representing my background, my connections. I really fought hard, even with having a YouTube channel. I didn't want to do it because being in the public's eye as long as I did for 26, 27 years. But I love it. I embrace it. It's a part of who I am. And then Shikaka came from me, saying this crazy saying, which is Shikaka. I didn't want to call anyone's project shitcoins, so I just came up with the word Shikaka, not to be offensive. And my millionaire buddy Mike O and I, who we invest in movies, we invest in real estate, we invest in a lot of things. He said, "Man, why don't we do something with that?" And it's funny because I had Metal Law Man, I had Fred Repulsely, I had people coming on my show, and they were like 68J Shikaka, and I'm like, what the freak? Like it started catching on, and so once Mike kind of got with me and we started talking about why we would do this and the fact that it was more of a for us by us. It was more of, I know there's a lot of people wish they could get into movies. I know there's a lot of people wish they could go and do some things financially that maybe they can't. And what if we utilize this meme, this sophisticated meme to do that, to go out there and invest in these things, and that way there's a return that comes back to the community. And so we self-funded everything. We didn't do any pre-sales. We started getting mentored. We started reaching out to people who are really good at memes and have had experiences. There's a lot of things we liked, but even way more things we didn't like. And so we've built this at a pace where we haven't really been marketing heavily yet, because we wanted to dot our I's and cross our T's. We had a movie that we were invested in. This is my second movie, actually third movie, and I've got other movies that we're going to be a part of as well. So I said, why don't we utilize this time to connect Shikaka? So Shikaka is actually being written into this movie that we leave for this month. It was actually postponed a little bit, but we go out to Canada and start filming. There's a lot of big stars in it. We just found out that two of the people that are doing videos for the movie is 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg. The movie has been the coin has been written into the script twice. We've got some scenes in Snoop's video where he'll flip the coin and it goes into a virtual deal into the camera. So we're doing things the right way. We're not trying to shill. I barely even talk about that. We've been talking about that for like the last week because we wanted to make sure everything was in place. And then tomorrow at 5 p.m. I've got one of the greatest NBA legends, Rafer Austin, that played 11 years for the Rockets. He's coming on as ambassador. We're talking about that tomorrow. So we're just doing that. We're putting everything in place, and then once we do that, we'll continue to build out. So that's Chicago. XRP Unleashed.
Can I just say that I'll be rubbing elbows with these elites as an ambassador of Chicago Coin myself? I'm just saying.
Well, we're also excited that we just signed and sent out a check for an exchange that will be. I've got to do a couple of KYC things tonight or tomorrow, and then that'll be up as well. So we're self-funded. We're really excited, man. And the thing that's really exciting is the community and the ambassadors, and we chose to go on the base network. Is not to say we can't do other things, but at the time that was a decision that Mike O made, and we happy we did. But there's also a lot of excitement and hype around obviously XRPL, and so we've been talking about that as well. But yeah, so that's that. Any questions about that? Otherwise, I'll move on to XRP Unleashed.
Yeah, what's the ticker? No, what's the ticker?
The ticker is SHKK. You'll see. These three amazing women here: Optimistic Prime, Keda, and Melissa. And we've got guys who work for the government. We've got highway patrolmen. We've got government. We've got firefighters. Everybody that's somehow connected to my life. No one's hiding behind an emoji because it's real money. We're not looking for anything from anybody else. Me and Mike have made a very good living in what we've done before. We didn't come to YouTube or do Chicago for money. We had that before we got here. So we're very blessed and very fortunate, and it's been a hell of a ride. So
is that on the ledger?
That is on
XRPL
Base Network. Base Network.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And so now getting into the documentary last night. I was very privileged and honored to had been asked to be in the documentary. I was actually in it a few times. My interview was done right before Joe Katz. So Joe Katz went in right after I did. It's become something. I remember when Chris called me up and he said, "Jay, is becoming more of a crime documentary type thing." And so my part, which was filmed about 30 minutes or so, was predicated more so off of Heart, which is who I'm. Me and my wife have traveled the world, giving back, building orphanages. So I was coming from the perspective of crypto being an opportunity for people to dream again. So many of us give up hope, life, children, careers, whatever, and we stop dreaming, right? Responsibility gets in the way and we stop dreaming. And so I said, for me, crypto is one of the fairest forms of capitalism, and the opportunity for anybody, regardless if you're 6'8" like me and played pro ball, or if you do this or do that, or could sing or throw a football, is anybody can be great at this. All you have to do is pay attention, do some research, and position yourself well, control those emotions, and have a plan. And so, that led into, again, being in this documentary. I was very honored to be a part of it. So they decided to release it in Las Vegas last night in front of the American Film Festival. I believe it was what it was called. They had it at the Palms Theater. The whole theater was shut down. There's people. It was hundreds of people from all over that were trying to sell their films from the industry. And so we watched it, and I'll tell you guys what. I'm also going to be in LA, by the way, watching it on the 19th, right after we get through shooting the 50 Cent video. But I was full of emotions, guys. I looked over at my wife at one point because I'm a very emotional guy, and I got to a point where I just felt like I was angry, I was happy, I was vindicated, I felt robbed. It was just so much. I don't know if anyone studies as much as I do. My wife can tell you, she's in here right now. Shouts out to Jeanette, my queen. But I study nonstop, and I'm just obsessed with this industry, because not just from a personal perspective, but the fact that I can look at an average person and say, man, you can be whatever you want to be if you position yourself right. And that to me is so special, because coming up in life, people had to watch me do things. They had to watch me play basketball, watch me have semi-pro teams that we own, watch me have car lots for cell phone stores and all. People couldn't do that, right? But I mean, it's not that they couldn't do that, but I just had a lot of opportunities. And so when I look at this, I go back to my family and say, man, look, this is your turn. This is something that you can do. And that's why I'm so passionate. So when I sat up there and I watched this documentary, it connected things that I thought I knew. It filled in gaps. I immediately felt so honored that I had Stephen Arrow for my show. We got almost 80,000 views on that thing. And my show was shut down 3 times. I've been shadow banned because of how much I talk about XRP, but I don't care. I still do what I do. But I felt so proud. I felt so proud to be a part of this space, to be a part of XRP. It was crazy to think that these people aren't in prison, to see what Joe Lubin and some of these guys have done. Jay Clayton blatantly was told, and I know we've heard that, but they get into the details. They get into, we all look at Vitalik Buterin. When you think of Ethereum, that's who you think about. He's nothing more than a puppet. Literally, they took it away from him. He's nothing more than a puppet. And I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't even know, how deep this thing went into China. I knew that Charles Hopkinson started ADA, left there, and Dr. Gavin Wood, because Polkadot set me free financially. Let me just say that, even more so than I already. Polkadot was big for me, because when they did that redenomination from $300 to $3, I went all in on that thing. But what I can tell you, so I knew everybody had came from that partnership, but I didn't know why. They shared text messages, they shared receipts, documents. I don't even know why we have laws and rules in this country after watching that, and they got away with everything that I don't even know why they would lock one of us up for doing that. I mean, it really made you angry, because it's like, they don't even play by the same damn rules that we play by. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I felt so much. I went, when I was done, I got in front of Chris and I said, look, this is what I'm going to tell you. As a business guy, as a guy who understands, law, I'm connected to a lot of people, celebrities. I said, if Kamala wins, you're in trouble. Like, if Kamala wins, I'm scared for you guys. I'm scared for you and Maya. I told them that because of what they exposed. And it's way more than the little clips that we saw at XRP, the Las Vegas. It's bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. And so they hit and then I'll tell you guys this. I could give everybody here $1 million and tell you to try to guess 5 times who they got this in front of, and you wouldn't even believe it if I told you. You'd call me a bull. You say you're full of shikaka. The word for shit or whatever. But you say I'm full of shikaka because you wouldn't believe who they got this in front of. I'm gonna tell you right now, if who they put this in front of watched it as they say they did, the like the 3 or 4 people, it's bigger than Brad. It's bigger than. I'm going to stop right there because I can't say what it is, but I know what it is, and I know who saw it, and I know who got it, and all I can say is God bless America, because if they follow through and if they do what based off what they've seen, it's going to be a lot of heads rolling. And if there's not a lot of heads rolling, the only thing that makes me doubtful is us knowing that Sam Bankman-Fried is in prison, and that we know that he did wrong, but they still withheld who got the money from the stolen money from the customers. That's the part they left out. And that just makes me not trust our system. And so even with this documentary, it's the only thing that makes me doubt if people are going to actually pay the price, because they only go after the people that they want to, and they give everyone else a free pass. And the other part that made me mad, and I realized that JP Morgan was making a coin, but for them to connect the dots and really, you realize that they purposely tried to destroy Ripple. I mean, they were showing these things where Ripple and XRP and Ethereum were going back and forth. They were showing that, and they got into the details of Jay Clayton getting warned. They got into the details of, like, I didn't even know. I knew that MoneyGram and Ripple had a partnership. I didn't know why it ended. I didn't know any of that. And then when they got into the details of explaining that, how they purposely were looking at Ripple and XRP and stopped everything. So when we hear about these appeals, when you watch this documentary, you won't be surprised that we've got these appeals. You will be surprised with how they've been getting away with this crap for so long, and how Trump is a big part of this now. It's crazy, and he will, if
my interest is peaked.
From what I understand, look, if he does what he's supposed to do, I think he's going to. I don't think we see 2026. I think he stops all this, and I think, if they put someone in place and he does fire Gary Gensler, I can't see anybody wanting that dark cloud over him. I think this all ends sooner than later. So, and obviously we can see what Bitcoin's done. There's nothing but air and opportunity up there. So yeah, I just felt very, very blessed and fortunate to have seen it. And I think you guys feel the same way.
Yeah. And I want to thank you. I kind of I said something on Twitter, but I didn't say anything to the DipAToers. But Jay was at the premiere, and after it was over, he took the time out and called me and said, "You're in the movie, sis, twice."
Twice.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" First of all, I just want to say, I'm shocked that they actually chose me to be in the movie. I was not expecting that at all. But what touched me is that you took the time out of your day when you're at the premiere
Yeah.
to call me and tell me that. And it meant a lot to me, and I really do appreciate it. And I also want to say thank you to, there's been a couple of other people that have reached out and said some things, and people that are watching me that I don't even know are watching me, and rooting me on. And I just want you to know, you guys, that I love you. And thank you so much for supporting me. And yeah, it meant a lot to me, Jay. I really appreciate
let me
it.
say this. As soon as I walked out, as soon as we were still in the theater, like literally walked out with the popcorns at and everything else. And I called you. And then when I got home, because I had to watch everything, I didn't go to sleep 2 wee hours. I contacted 90% of the people, because 90% of the people or 85% of the people in XRP Unleashed have been on my show. They've been interviewed by me. So I reached out to Fred Repulsey, Metal, everybody, Mickle, Zach Rector, Lewis Jackson, all my boys. We all have a personal relationship. And I let them know, I said, man, I did, because sometimes, with the things that we've all gone through, sometimes just a kind word or just letting people know how you felt about, or feel about how they did. And, sometimes people just need to hear something positive. And so I took it upon myself to contact them all and let them all know you guys were amazing. And I'm telling you, some of them act like little kids, man. They just, Jimmy Valley, all of them. Linda P. Jones was just beside herself. And so, yeah. So I thought that was very important.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to the Washington showing, and you have me so pumped. I know Toasty's going to Houston. I was trying to get Stone to come up to Washington. There's still time.
Well, if you guys, I tell you guys what, go to my Crypto4Life page and watch today's live, and you probably won't sleep tonight. My excitement was just overwhelming, and I've been contacted by everyone, from Jake Claver to everybody else. So obviously I did a good job of explaining my excitement. So
you pumped it up. You pumped everybody up for sure. One thing I wanted to ask you is that, there was major concerns from some people in the XRP community. It kind of tended to split them in half between they're going to ruin, the XRP community from this, and they're, pitting against the other chain and all of this kind of stuff. And I think people are going to be a bit surprised that it's not really about that, right? I mean, everything you just explained doesn't say anything about the actual blockchain. It's the people that they investigated, and they got this information. And so I just wondered if, as you saw the film, would you walk away thinking, well, this is a divisive film, or is this is going to get the crypto community really thinking at a deeper level when it comes to what we're working against, really? I mean, who's working against us, I guess.
I think for me, it just exposes the fact that they missed it, they didn't like it, and they've done everything in their power to try to catch up and give big money the opportunity to do that. That's literally what I felt doing this whole thing. This wasn't about Ethereum or trying to take down Ethereum. It's got nothing to do. This is about us as Americans being cheated. And once revered as the innovation capital of the world, now being the laughing joke, and you understand why. And this is about a bunch of big guys and powerful people, women and guys, that just they missed a boat. They didn't believe. A lot of them was calling it battery acid and cancer, and this was their opportunity to rape the industry for as much as they can and try to position themselves. This is what it's all about: greed. This whole thing is about greed, and it's about justice. And nothing in that documentary felt like they were trying to hurt somebody. It's just like, you know what? You guys have raped the community and cheated a lot of people, and they just think they're higher than they took checks, they got paid, and it's just there's no repercussions. And so I just think they did a great job of exposing the corruption, and it wasn't, I don't think it was a personal attack. I think if anything else, the reason I felt that they had to be careful and Trump had to win was because of what they said and how they said it. They left it was unfiltered. I mean, you got if someone watches this from a legal standpoint, a lot of people should go to prison. That's how I look at it. A lot of people should go to prison. And there's, look, treason, China, if someone tells you, I'll give you $500,000 and we'll give you a blank check, and it comes from China to the Ethereum Foundation, and everything, Ethereum is at the center of everything, the foundation. And it's not the coin or what it does and the people who build on it, it's the people behind it that are just straight up greedy. And when you look at the fact that it's not even decentralized, like I'm sitting there looking at it like, what? They're still not decentralized, because I didn't understand how the whole percentage and what had to happen for it to be decentralized. Dude, it's going to shock a lot of people. And I don't know if it's going to affect Ethereum at all. I don't know. I just don't know if there's going to be that kind of justice. But if things were done, or if the law was upheld, there'd be a lot of people in prison. That's all I got to say. Yeah, a lot of people in prison. And
I got a question for you. Knowing America's love for the underdog and stories like Rudy, where we come back from the abyss, right?
What a great movie.
What do you think's going to happen when they watch this documentary and realize what the government, what the nefarious people above have been doing to us? What do you think is going to happen to the XRP ledger? I'm just saying, it's coming.
I just think that there's been this spring, right? I look at everything as a spring, and we have been kept at, like, I've talked to some people, Jake Clavers and Mickles and a lot of other people, Zach Rectors and Lewis Jackson's, all these guys, and we should not be at 50 something cents. That's a fact. We should not be at 50 something cents, and they've purposely. I've been in this since 2017, and it seems like every time we've had good news, whether it's the Him emails, whether it's Judge Annalisa Torres' decision on July 13th, 2023, anytime we've got good news, they've always come out with something to devastate the industry and bring us back down. And I just think all the games stop. And I think that what we saw XRP do back in the day when it jumped from cents all the way up to $3 and some cents, I think we will explode. And I think if they can cancel out this appeal, if they can just kind of get everything wiped out, and at that point Ripple basically stop the bullying, I think that those 1,700 NDAs that we don't know about start getting exposed. I think there's a reason that Grayscale and 21 shares and a Canary Capital, whatever it is, those companies, there's a reason that they're anxious. There's a lot of people that are anxious. And I think when those things start happening, I don't think we'll be able to. I think there's a point. I've heard rumors through Jake and some other people. There may be a time where when the it's kind of like Elon talking about Doge. I don't think that's a game. I don't think he's joking. I think he's for real. And I don't think Brad was joking when he said flip of the switch, or Rosie Real said the train has left the station. I think those are all said for a reason. And I think there's some things that Jake Claver said to me privately. He goes, look, I don't say this too much online. He goes, there's going to be a time where it's going to be hard as hell to even get XRP. And I do believe that day is going to come. And do I think all these evaluations, like, you guys got to remember, I interviewed everybody. I interviewed Jimmy Valley. I interviewed Molly Elmore. I interviewed the guy who worked with them and helped them with their evaluation, that even went as far as saying XRP could be $1 million. And I thought, people thought the guy was, he won like a postal, like a Nobel Peace Prize, some kind of prize or something, but he's like a mathematician, like genius. And Jimmy Valley said, look, you either think he's brilliant or you think he's crazy. And I think his name is XRP Lion or something like that. There's several guys like that.
Leon Backus is a really smart one too.
But when you give the numbers, and if you guys pay attention to Lewis Jackson and you see how he broke down those numbers, and Jimmy Valley, man, speaks so passionately about the numbers. When you look at the numbers, guys, the possibilities are just. But here's what's so funny. Here's what cracks me up: when people can't fathom that it's possible for XRP to get to 1,000, 10,000, but yet Bitcoin in its early days was 1,300 for a freaking dollar, 1,300 for a damn dollar. And then it got to where Da Vinci J, like 12 years ago or so, was talking about buy one Bitcoin for $1, just one freaking dollar. And so people lose fact, but now we're at 75,000. People can't even think that we can get to 1,000. They have no idea. But see, here's the thing that I try to tell people: name another asset that has been bullied and purposely suppressed than XRP, and you can't name one. And then follow that, name a company in all of crypto, and call me out if you want to, that has more in place than Ripple right now. Name one. If you can name it and prove it, I'll send you 10 grand right now. You can't do it.
they can't do it.
You can't do it.
You know what's
do
interesting about that too, as well, Jay? And first of all, hi, because I didn't get a chance to say hi to you.
Hello, Keda.
Your first name.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
I'm doing good. But the other thing that people don't realize is that every single XRP has 1 million drops, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you think about that, that's for a reason. Because all I keep saying is, just imagine when a drop is worth $1. And if you can fathom that and think about that, because if you do the math, you know what that means.
Sometimes, Keda, the most basic things are the things that we forget about, the ABC of this whole thing. The same people who worked on Bitcoin created XRP to be better than in every way, and people keep forgetting that. So the fact that at one point it was actually number one for a very short period of time, but it was number one above Bitcoin, and then number two, and then obviously this whole thing happened, and it was very concerning. That the documentary actually explains all that. It shows all that, how they literally, this is a planned attack. And so when you watch that, you be like, this is. The sky's the limit, guy. I think XRP is going to be one of the greatest stories ever, because a lot of times when you miss something like Bitcoin, you don't get a second chance. I mean, you don't get a second chance to be a part of Amazon or Uber or Airbnb. For whatever crazy, blessed, godly reason, we've been given an opportunity for those of us who really get it to be a part of, in my opinion, one of the greatest opportunities in crypto, and it's staring people right in the face. Have you ever been somewhere where you looked at for something that's right in front of you, you can't see it? That's exactly what's happening with XRP right now.
And so this whole process, what did it do? It weeded out all the bad people and the people with bad character, and like there was such a bleeding process of liquidity and people holding this asset that those of us that are left, fortitude, character.
Yeah, it's sad, because they're not going to apologize for what they've done, and my heart goes out to everybody. I see, especially when you got a channel. I'm sure you guys see it as well. I feel so bad for the people who keep trying to say we've been 50-something cents for 4 or 5. And you have to. I know you're right, but why? And then when you can answer the why, you'll get the opportunity. Why?
But then think about it like this, from this aspect as well. If they're coming after it this hard, it lets you know how important it is. Yeah. It really does. Think about it. Why would they be fighting for it to be able to control it so bad? You know what I mean?
What are they afraid of?
We also weren't even really used to be in it. I mean, if you think about it, retail wasn't even meant to be in it. It was supposed to be just for the institutions and large corporations. So when you think about it, we really, I know I keep saying it, and I keep saying we're chosen for this, but it really is. If we are in it right now, because think about how many people you tried to tell about it.
I remember when I had Sean McBride on, who was on my show, formerly with Google and Amazon. I was trying to poke him because he was also formerly with Ripple, and off backstage he said some things, and I can't repeat, because when I got him on the show, I had to submit my questions to his attorney, just like with Shannon Thorpe, because everything she went through with that whole controversy with Wells Fargo. So I had to submit things to her attorney before having her on. But I can just tell you guys that it's not the things that we know, it's the things that we don't know. The things that we know is phenomenal with Ripple and XRP. It's the things that we don't know, the 1,700 NDAs and all these different things. It's mind blowing. And obviously Brad and Chris can't be like Elon and talk about the Department of Government. They can't say things, but I'm just telling you guys that the greatest opportunity, life-changing opportunity is getting ready to happen. And the fact that, I'm not here to talk about Trump or Kamala or whatever, but as a father, as a husband, who's raised 6 kids and 6 kids at a very high level. We've got kids who are in doctor programs, kids who are, my daughter just got engaged to one of the guys from the Chicago Bears. Like, we've done really good with our kids. But one of the things that really, I've been having these conversations with family and friends. The thing that really bothered me is that as a country, as people, we've lost our morals. The way that they've been, this whole woke, this whole, I can't tell my kid is in elementary if he wants to be Bobby today and Sheila tomorrow. This whole guys can get a change and play in women's sports. I mean, I'm telling you, like, when Trump won last night, I felt like God came back into America. That's literally what I felt, that we have morals again, that I felt proud to be an American, because I was walking around the U.S. just going, man, thank God my kids are all older. Thank God they're all grown up. I couldn't imagine raising kids in today's, like, crappy society, and Trump brought all that back again. And I know, look, I'm not saying he's perfect. That would be asinine to say something like that. I think his heart is in the right place. I think sometimes he says things like the last time when he said, put up the wall and keep the blah, blah, blah out. The way he said it was bad, but what he actually said was right. And that's the whole thing. And so yeah, God bless America, man. And we needed this. We needed this as a society. We needed this as people who are invested in this life-changing opportunity with crypto, for sure.
I want to give Lady K an opportunity to chime in, because I know you have opinions on all of this. You want to jump in, Lady K?
I mean, Jay said it so eloquently. I mean, I feel like the lawsuit has always been a stall. I've watched every Congress hearing on digital assets for the last 3 years. I stream them on Twitter. And it's a stall tactic. And so I've come to the theory that when the event happens that they've been stalling for, they'll stop. And I don't know what that is. I think it's going to be hindsight. I'm hoping this XRP Unleash fills in some gaps for me, maybe.
Same here, Lady K. What do you think, Amanda?
Hi, Jay.
Hey, hello, sis. How are you?
I'm great. I just, I truly believe in divine timing. And, just on what you were saying about how, you jumped into the Mystic and then the first ledger showed up. Well, that's really Jay. Like, I met Jay through Maya. And then, I actually met all the ladies here and Toasty through Jay's show. And then, then I ended up here. So like Maya is my catalyst. Maya is the first one that noticed me. And I wanted to be in XRP Las Vegas so bad because I wanted to go to sit in the little, booth and maybe, show my stuff. And so when Melissa said that she had, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And so when she called me yesterday, like immediately, like I literally have not slept since yesterday at like 5 a.m. And so when she called me last night and she's like, Jay called me when he was still at the thing. And like, she didn't even know how to react. And I was like, you have to own this shit. You have to own this. You have to sit in it.
She didn't get one of those things where she was going like this. She actually got speaking parts. Like when they did her interview, they showed 2 parts. And I was like, I told myself, oh my God, they gave her really good parts in the documentary. So it was shocking. It was awesome.
I'm shocked. I didn't even know what the hell I said because it was all a blur. So I'm like, shit. I'm half going, was it really me or was it somebody else and he just thinks
well,
it's me?
I think they had hundreds of people go through that booth, and yeah, I think maybe 8 people maybe they showed that was in that booth, maybe like 8 people, and some of them just said hello. But you got like out of everyone in that booth, just watch and see. I think you got the most time out of everyone in the booth.
Oh God,
because she's amazing,
say, Melissa. You always know what to say.
I'm just being honest with you guys. If you're watching and tell me anything different, then let me know.
And like, I just think,
I'll call you when I come out of the theater, Melissa. Give us your number.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was saying to her last night how like she's gonna have to wait. This, she's not going to a premiere, neither am I. And I'm hoping, they're coming to Canada, hopefully in the spring, hopefully. Then I can actually meet them. But I said, it's gonna be so interesting because Melissa is going to hear about it from everybody, but she's not going to see it until the 21st. And so we're going to actually see it at the same time. And so, you know, I'll be honest with you, Jay, I was a little jealous, and Keda too. I was a little jealous when I heard you were going to see it before anybody else. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait.
You know what it is, sis? It's, you know, I've been around movies and stuff like that my whole life, and investing and stuff like that in those things. And this is not a YouTube or X Live. This is a part of history. Like, how many times have you watched a early Bitcoin documentary that looked like it was like ancient? There's nothing greater than this. And I don't know if there be anyone that actually does anything on this level. And I felt proud, man. I've been a part of a lot of things in my life, but I felt proud. And when I saw Melissa, I said, oh my God, like she's a part of history, like in a major way. It wasn't just a wave. I wouldn't have called her a wave. You know, I wouldn't say, oh sis, I saw you wave, but no, it was a big deal. And I'm very honored. I'm very honored. And I'm honored just to be a part of, I think I'm even more honored to be a part of XRP and this whole ecosystem of what Ripple's created with XRPL and everything else. Like, we're seeing it right now. This is our time. You know, we've all been through it. This is our time. And I'm proud to be a part of the whole family.
Love it.
Can I add one more thing, Melissa?
Absolutely.
So one of the things, so my last name's Jones and my husband's last name is Archer. And so I always, keep up with the Joneses, buy a bus and become an archer. And I was trying to come up with a tagline for the Archer clan, and it's pull back, aim, let go. And I felt for the past 5 years on the ledger that that's what we're doing, is that we're all meeting the highest timeline. We're pulling back, we're aiming our arrow. And when this flies, I can't wait. And I just as soon as Maya told me about the XRP Unleashed, I was like, oh my gosh, these are my friends. I share it on Facebook. These are my friends, guys. These are not just random people. These are the people I want to spend time with when I'm a millionaire. And I'm just so honored and so privileged. I feel just so moved. I get teary-eyed all the time. And to be here today, the day after November 5th, and Jay and I, so I was on Ladies Night with him for 6 weeks. And we were it was so great. And I loved it. And it was just at one point, he launched the Chicago coin. And then I just got burnt out. I got burnt out from everything. And I just took the summer off. And I didn't even look at crypto. I didn't open my wallets. I didn't even I didn't do anything with my own tokens. I just took the time off. And then when First Ledger hit and started, this thing started rolling, and then Maya started making the announcements about when it was all coming out. And when I was like, oh, this is why I needed 4 months off, because, it's pulling back, aiming, let go. And we are all on the similar trajectory. And I'm just deeply honored. And it's so nice to see you that if this conversation happened 2 days ago, it would be a totally different energy field. But today, of all the dates to come together with, on Melissa's show, and so sad that Simon isn't here, but we love you, Simon.
We love you, Simon.
And, it's just so exciting.
What's really interesting is, and I'm not going to make this about, politics or anything like that, but, however, let me rephrase that. However, what I will say is for a person who has been a staunch Democrat all her life and basically voted just because that's what my family did, didn't really get into the politics, didn't really get into just understanding the process and how this works, and really taking onus and getting out there and researching and understanding, and not to mention just being sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? I'm not going to vote for somebody just because of the fact that they're a woman or because, of their skin color or anything like that. You couldn't give me any policy that I could follow. But our friend Trump could. And when I took a look back at his presidency, I had more at that time than I do now.
Well, you know what, sis? I don't think Trump won because Democrats became Republicans. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm an American that believes in God. And I think what happened is American people stood up, not as Republicans, just as people, and said enough is enough. We looked around and we're looking at a world we don't even recognize. I'm 53 years old, and 50. I always say every year your life is like a chapter in your life, and I just didn't feel proud. I felt sick to my stomach in every way that you can think of. And so I think people just stood up and fought for a better tomorrow, fought for their family. And to me, it's kind of like the whole thing with XRP. I think that sometimes things don't happen when we want them to happen. If you think about it, if XRP, first of all, if XRP had never had this lawsuit, how many people that are in it right now would be in it right now? I don't think it would be the same. Not a lot of people would have big bags. Not a lot of people would have got in and positioned themselves. And through trials and tribulations, ups and downs and peaks and valleys and everything that we've gone through, struggle, a lot of us have developed relationships because of this damn lawsuit, because of this crypto asset being put down. I would have never known Optimistic Prime or World Be Free or Keda if it wasn't for us coming together talking about these issues. So I just think the greatest blessing in this whole thing will be the fact that lawsuit happened, and that, I don't want to, sound like cheesy, but the Phoenix is going to rise, man. And when the Phoenix rises, my God, we're on the right side of the equation. And then we look up and we will appreciate that money. We will appreciate that success. I don't think you appreciate if you luckily got into Shiba and it went up, because you'd probably be broken. And just like the guys in the NFL and NBA, I think we're going to appreciate every bit of this journey and the friendships. I tell you right now, I'm close to some of the people in crypto that I'm close to my own damn brothers and sisters, and that's a fact. That's a fact. So I'm just so honored, man, to be a part of this. And I'm just, for those people who get it, your time is coming. And I think the XRP community is going to, I hold various assets, but I think people who have been through this storm is going to be so. I can tell you right now, I'm a better person today because of what I've gone through for the last 7 years. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, and that's what this whole part is, what you just described, what we were talking about before you got here, was the fact of the community. And and why I chose everyone to be on this panel this evening is because every one of you has expressed the desire to bring the community together. And what you were saying earlier is like, it reminds me of kids getting in trouble, like brother and sister. You'll be fighting and poking each other and stuff. And as soon as your ass gets in trouble, you all of a sudden become like, I love you. Like you're scared you're going to be in trouble, And it's kind of like, we've kind of gone through that, right? Like there's all this chaos and stuff. And those of us that are giving it attention, we're just all coming together and like, how can we protect ourselves? How can we empower ourselves? And I just want to thank you guys for just putting forth the effort.
Let me say this last thing. I got to get out of here because my wife is going to get mad. I don't want to be on the sofa. I promised her a date night. But let me just apologize, because in this space, you guys know this as well as I do. There's been a lot of controversy. It's been a lot of things that have played people against people. I remember I want to apologize to Lady K because she's an amazing person, amazing. And I know we got, not me and you personally, but there was just some things where I wanted you to be a part of the show and things didn't work out, and that's okay. What I'll just say is this, man. This is a beautiful thing, seeing all you guys together right now. It really touched my heart in a big way. Seeing everybody moving forward, and that's the way it should be. That to me is what this is all about. We're in a society that's not about nationalities or this and that or anything else. We're all one big ass family, and I think that's what I've taken away from this whole experience in crypto. I'm so thankful for my family that I've gotten with Crypto4Life and Chicago, DipAToe, all you guys. Each of you guys in some way have been a huge part of my life. And I'll say this, always remember that when you're moving in this space, think about the people that you want to be a part of your family, and think about the type of people that you would want to be in business with. There's some people in crypto I would never associate with in my personal life. There's some people in crypto I would never do business with. And I'll leave you guys with this. I always say the greatest thing about crypto is anybody can do it. And the worst thing about crypto is anybody can do it. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys in a major way. God bless you guys. I got to get out of here and go spend time with the wife.
Thank you. Tell Jeanette we love her.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Thank you, Jay. Big hugs.
Thank you, James.
Hi.
Much love, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye. Stone, you're chomping at the bit. Like what do you say?
He was speaking my language.
I know he was.
So many things he said hit home, and I've spoke about him in my spaces. And I was in a space the other night and ended up getting to talking about military experience and basically going through hardships and going through the suck together really brings you together. And when you have to overcome adversity together, it evokes that and struggle adversity, right? Like when you are struggling and you are in pain emotionally, physically, you're exhausted, whatever, and somebody is there either going through it with you or helping you go through it, doesn't matter because emotion is attached to it. And once emotion is attached to it, it's a game changer, right? It elevates the whole feeling. So the fact that we're all feeling connected to one another and we're like-minded individuals, we all went through that same struggle. We all suffered that same suck in our own way, and we persevered to this point, to a point that the universe connected us. Right. And so, speaking to his point, that you don't want to be associated with shitty people, and those shitty people were weeded out through this ridiculous process of disbelief and false narratives and all the adversities that we all had to overcome. We all experienced that together, whether we knew each other or not. And so the fact that we come together in these spaces and you resonate with somebody's vibration, you resonate with something that somebody is saying, there's a reason you're here. There's a reason that you resonate with that, because you suffered the same, injustice or whatever, however it affected you in that way. You're in this space now and you're hearing these words now because you need to hear them. And if you made it through all that shit to this point,
Yeah.
you should feel a sense of entitlement that you've earned it, because you have earned it. We've all earned it. And I don't know, bring your neighbor along that's worth it, and show up to spaces and learn about the process. And when you see the name Tremera in like 3 years, it's going to be associated with trust, because you've heard my spaces, because you've been in these videos, because all the things that are coming out that we're putting out as a community, um, it's it's beautiful. And I'm gonna get sidetracked, and I know that your show's
Mhm.
gone over and all the things, and I'm sorry,
No,
but
not at all.
come join us on X.
Yeah.
I would
I,
love to answer that question
yeah.
though about why people should support the community.
Great.
So I'm going to appeal to people's self-interest. There are so many different reasons people are in this space: price, tech. They think it's going to be the new financial system. Like, I'm here for all three of those, right? And this community is building. They're building, they're testing, they're breaking, they're fixing. And you have the opportunity to see how this works and how it's built from the ground up. You have the opportunity to see what vulnerabilities there are, what strengths there are, what security like. And you're only going to learn this by like talking to these projects, listening to them, hearing their struggles, without like bashing them and making them run away. You know what I mean? And supporting doesn't necessarily mean, you have to buy in, but listen, talk, help, advise, retweet. There's so many things you can do to support, but just let the conversations be had, and we'll all benefit from it.
I have one
Well
more
said.
thing to add.
Well
I have
said,
one more
lady.
thing to add, and you can go. For the listener that doesn't understand why they should be involved in crypto before it's made easy, um, I was having my daughters are going learning how to drive, and we saw a commercial where the car crab walked and it parked itself. Right? Or no, the car crab walked and got out of like a tight area. And then the next commercial was a guy pushing a button and it parked itself. And Amanda turned to me and was like, we're really dumbing down society this
Yeah.
much. That's what crypto is going to go to. When crypto gets to the point where all you have to do is enter your driver's license number, and now you have a wallet and it's all set up, you've lost how to drive. You've lost the ability to learn how to drive, because now the self-driving car has been given to you, right? So what I'm saying is, learn how to drive a stick shift now while the stick shift still exists. Come into the space, come into the space and learn how the ledger works, learn how the UIs interface with the decks, learn how to place orders, learn how to place buy orders, learn how to place sell orders, learn how you holding a coin affects the community, and learn how selling the coin can boost the community. like all these things, this is what I'm offering. This is what everybody on this screen is offering you. Come to these spaces and just listen. Bring a notepad, write down your notes, ask your questions. If you don't want to talk, you send me a DM, right? Stone_XRPL. Come ask me questions about XRP and how it's going to change the future of finance. I'm going to tell you all about it. Yeah, everybody, and we all have notes because we want to wait till our turn, and we don't want to forget what our question was, and we don't want to forget what
When
what
I'm at
what we want
work,
to contribute.
when I'm at
Yeah,
work, I'm
always.
listening to you guys constantly, and I will come home with like little pieces of notes. Like I don't like to throw paper away when you misprint something. So as long as it's got a nice big white side to it, I like take it, cut it in half, and make myself scrap paper. So I have a stack of scrap paper at my desk, and I'll be listening and working, and somebody will say something, and I'll write it down, and I'll write it down, and then I bring all those scrap pieces home, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, what the hell is this? Or sometimes I go, oh yeah, I want to reach out to that person or whatever. And a lot of times you listen to these spaces, the thing I like about it is they present things, questions that I didn't even know I needed to ask. And so, I am, you know, hopeful in creating, my own token someday or my own NFT to try to figure out how all this stuff works. But I want to know all these questions that I need to ask before I go willy nilly and create something bad because you are responsible. And that was one of the things I heard in one of your spaces where somebody was saying, when you create something, you are responsible for it. There are people that have invested and bought into your token. You can't just go, oh well, I screwed up, it didn't work. You know what I mean? That's not responsible. And so that's where I think that this space is so important with all of you guys, and then all the people that are watching or connected. We have such the ability to teach one another, and it is much like the internet. When you first started learning, there was a bunch of beta stuff out there. I didn't know it at the time that it was beta and that they were using us to test these things out, where you're teaching yourself how to build a message board or teaching yourself how to build a website through MySpace, all these types of things. Once they figured all that stuff out and how to make it proprietary, all of that went away. You can't find these types of things anymore. Because why? Because now you have to go into the proprietary thing. This is going to happen in the crypto space also. And so now, if you are interested in this, you have the opportunity to learn and empower yourself so that you're not depending on a third party telling you what you can and you cannot do. So, yeah. Tosi, did you have something I thought you were wanting to say?
Well, here I'll hit on this. There's a few things that should get us all excited as XRP XRPL holders. We have price oracles now, DID. Axelar is going to give us smart contracts. Brain fart. And you put smart contracts with oracles together. That's probably a whole episode. Obviously, XRP Unleashed. We have, as was mentioned, we have 3 S1 ETFs plus Grayscale Trust. RLUSCs coming any day. We just had yesterday happen. Need I say more? And all kinds of stuff's being tokenized on the ledger, real world assets. Reaper Financial they work with, we're tokenizing gold and silver. And we just had an amazing meme coin launch. I think we're setting the standard for what a meme coin is.
I'm gonna have to get with you, Toasty, because I want to learn more about the Reaper coin and what Reaper is doing. Just because I've heard a lot of great things about it, and I have gotten a chance to meet Patrick and talk with him. He was on my show at one point when he was actually running for president. Uh, so I definitely want to learn more. So I'll definitely reach out.
Well, this has been a fantastic show, you guys. I kind of want to go around the room for final thoughts, and if you would let people know how they can find you on whatever platform, which most everybody is on X. Somebody did ask, they don't know what Spaces is. They're going to have to duck, go it. I thought that was cute as a button. But why don't we start with Amanda and go up, and then we'll end with our special guest, Stone. So we'll go Amanda, Lady K, Toasty, Keda, and Stone, and then I'll take us out.
Awesome. So yeah, in regard to your original question, I guess I'll just put my answer to that along with my farewell. So first of all, you can find me Optimistic Prime on all platforms except TikTok. I'm Optimistic Prime 5.0 because I've lost 4 accounts. 2 of them were at 50,000. And I have lots of scammers, so please be aware that that's one of the reasons why I'm starting to try to do spaces and stuff, because I have a lot of imposters that say they're me and they copy my stuff and they write you and tell you to put your money somewhere. Don't listen to them. Okay, and then I just, to tie everything in, I really believe that one of the things that's happened is that, somebody was asking today, why are we all like this? And it is the perseverance. And I truly believe in co-creation. I believe that God wins and we're the children of God. And so we win. And that ultimately we're creating the resonance field of the ripple effect. And that because we're coming together, our resonance field, our energy field ripples out. And that's literally what the Ohm is. Ohm, I created the Ohm coin on the Stellar Ledger out of a hole in the ground at the Warsaw Caves. And this image is literally a hole in the ground. And so the fact that that is from the very beginning of my journey into the mystic, it's been this, if you just find your path and you find all the other people finding their path, then together you create a resonance field that brings people into it. And I believe people only change when they're inspired. And so I think that's what this community is, just so beautiful. And when we do overcome our obstacles or issues, or when we're weeding out the bad actors or whatever it looks like, when we're trying to find who our people are, I think it's just such a beautiful thing, because I think we're magnets and we literally draw in the people that resonate with us. And together, I don't know if you guys know a lot about energy, but amplifies, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't even itself out, it actually gets bigger. And so I think that that's what this is what's happening right now. And that ultimately we are the drops, it is us. And my final thoughts, I'm just so moved. I feel the revolution will not be televised, and this is it. And, you can't fight for peace. I believe that, I've been saying a lot, you guys have been quoting me now, which is really exciting, that, and Toasty said it too, the only way out is through. And one of the biggest things when you're talking about self-custody, not waiting, I really believe in sovereignty. And I believe that, for 8 years, Trump has actually been trying to tell us that it's us and that he was giving power back to the people. And I'm Canadian, but I still, I vicariously through you guys. And that the whole path is sovereignty. And when you own your own keys and you own your own wallet, that is the first step to really realizing the banks are not to be trusted, guys. It's you. You're the only person to trust. And this is what is happening. And I'm just going to plug that I'm on Mr. Man's open town hall on Friday on Patreon. You have to join Patreon, but he's opened it up to anybody, even the free people, this week, which is really exciting, because we're talking about my project and how I want to implement sovereignty through my projects. And that's really the passion. And I feel it. And I feel that, yeah, I'm just so excited. November 5th, will go on in infamy forevermore. And Guy Fawkes would be so damn proud of you guys for the lawful way. It's the lawful way. It's the living men and living women standing in their rights to say, yes and no. And I'm just so deeply honored to be here the day after. And no sleep was well worth it. And I'll try to be at crypto and more crypto and coffee in the morning. And yeah, thank you so much for having us here. And check out my Blue Umbrella token and my NFTs, the new tinfoil hat collection on XRP.cafe and the Blue Umbrella. And yay, it's Simon!
Simon, how much time you got?
I got about 30 seconds. We just about break for lunch, but this was a freaking amazing show. I have so much work to do in the morning to like chop all these little sound bites out, man. I mean, nothing but fire. Melissa, I tip my hat to you, Stone. I'm loving the vibes, dude. Your energy was resonating through. Toasty, my man, love to see you. Lady Kate, you're gonna go see XRP Leash in Washington State or Washington D.C.? What'd you say?
DC.
Ah,
DC.
damn! All right, I got my hopes
Sorry,
all up. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But I just wanted to swing through real quick, say hi to everybody. Peace and love. I gotta go. Dip a toe.
Thanks. Love you, Simon.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Awesome. He got to pop in. Lady K, final thoughts. Where are you from? Where can they find you? I will tell you guys while Amanda was talking, I was dropping the links to your handles to your X accounts in the chat for those that are interested.
Yeah, you can find me on X, and I can only do like one media platform at a time.
Brilliant.
I like join everyone's Telegrams and Discord, and then I never go in there. So, do spaces and just come by and say hi.
Well, we thank you so much for coming.
That's
I'd love
all.
to have you. I'd
Have
love
a
to
good
have
night.
you come back to talk about the real estate and the opportunities in that and what you see them building. So we'll definitely have you back on DipAToe if you would come back. That'd be fantastic. Toasty.
I love that. Thank you.
Hello. Come see Kristen, Stone, myself, anybody else. I see Optimistic. I see all you guys in spaces. Just come say hi. I'm just here to spread the love and, help grow my network. Everybody else's here's network. Again, all boats rise together, and may the XRPL win.
Love it. Thank you so much, Toasty. You're great. Miss Keda.
Hey,
Tell us what you got,
everybody.
my friend.
So you can find me on X with Keda1211, and I do have my own show that I'll be doing tomorrow night. I do it at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it is Keeping It 100 with Keda and the Crew with my lovely co-host, Miss Melissa. So definitely come through. It is a safe space to be able to have great conversations. I am working on no sleep because I was up last night for the election. And so stinking excited for what's to come. As a mother, as a human, as a citizen of the United States, I really have to say that you can't expect change if you don't get in the fight. And I know a lot of people that refused to vote, and you can't complain if you don't make your voice heard. So just know that, when they tell you they're going to give you that 2 hours and they have to pay you in order for you to be able to go and vote, that's because they consider it a civic duty. You know what I mean? So definitely take your time, build a community, right? Get to know some of the people in the space if you're interested in the space, because these are the people that are going to help you through, especially if you're new. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn, and if you don't take the time to learn, you'll get wrecked, and it's not because you didn't try. It's not because it's not because you didn't want to do it right, but when they say the things like do your research, and I know Stone touched on this earlier, I was flowing in the wind, you know what I mean? I went to YouTube and, I'm sure I did what everybody else did, which was try to find those, people out there doing videos. And when I got in, they weren't really trying to really get you as much as they are now because people aren't making as much money as they used to, you know? So take your time, do your research, read till the end, because a lot of people don't do that. You know, make sure you read that last paragraph because I bet you most of the information is in that last paragraph. And have a good night.
Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Mr. Stone. It's
I
been a pleasure having
lost
you on this show, I have to say. Thank you so much for coming. You lost your thoughts?
I lost audio.
Oh, no,
No,
you
you
didn't.
didn't.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
You guys can hear me, but I can't hear you, and I'm sorry.
It's
Uh,
okay.
I was on my
It's okay.
headphones and they died. I'll take it by body language that you can hear me, and I really appreciate this opportunity to come on here. The amount of love and attention and energy that the different developers and the different what I call ledger leaders have shown me has been overwhelming, and energy feeds energy, and the positive energy that you guys give me is amazing. And the fact that a person like me, that I always have to have all my ducks in a row, and I always have to have like a game plan, and I have a today plan, a week plan, a 5 year plan, a 10 year plan. And for me to resign and jump into this world and just be embraced the way that I've been embraced, and like the feedback that I've gotten, it's just so inspiring, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm excited to like do what I do every day. I'm excited to exist, and I'm also there's levels, right? Like we're talking about crypto now, we're talking about digital assets and the future of finance now, but I'm also really into mental health and service, and
Sorry about that.
I'm into power greater than us. I'm into so many different things that if you come to coffee and crypto, or you're in any space that I'm in and we end up talking about something different, it might inspire you. You might inspire me. And it was alluded to during this space that we don't know what we don't know, and we sometimes we don't know the right questions to ask, but you might ask the right question. Not knowing your ass from a hole in the ground, nothing to do with crypto, you might ask the right question. You might hear something that we're saying and it doesn't make sense, and you have the fortitude to stand up and ask the question, and you might help out a room full of people. There's some spaces that we have. There's 100 people live in the space, to 200 people, whatever, and then there's like 1,200 people come back and look at the recording. It's amazing to me. Like, numbers are numbers, and to have 5,000 people, there's probably 1,000 bots following me, but like 5,000 people really care what I have to say. Like, is that a thing? Is that real? And then, they come into these live spaces and tell you they care, and the things you're saying are resonating with them, and like the gravity of the situation, the force that is pushing us together is real, and just believe in it. And I turned my TV off 2 years ago. Change your life, change your perspective, right? Go to bed every night and think of the 5 things that you pray to God are still there in the morning. Those are your blessings. Start with 5 before you go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, make your bed. Start your day with success, and come to Coffee and Crypto. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I loved it. That fantastic. I appreciate everyone here. I do want to say we have 247 people listening. The Crypto4Life family came out in full force. We appreciate you guys so much. They are part of my family also, and I love that we're starting to cross over, cross populate our people. I want to thank everyone who supports DipAToe. Please hit that like button on the way out and subscribe to the DipAToe channel if you can. Do that for me. I would really, really appreciate it. Next week, we have some of you may be familiar with an account on X called Smoke. Smoke is going to be joining us in the second hour, so in the 9 o'clock hour. Not sure what I'm doing for the first hour, so there's several opportunities for me to have somebody on, and I'm just trying to think of who I want to mesh with the same kind of information. So if you guys would come back next week, it's going to be a really good show. And once again, thank you to our panel. We love you. Love you, Simon. And next time, I don't know. What do I want to say? What
Just
can
a
we do?
reminder that this is not financial advice and we are doing this for entertainment purposes only. And do your own research. And Stone, you're muted.
Not financial advice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. We'll see you next time. Same day, same bat channel.